Hey YouTube, long time no see. A lot of things have changed in the last few months. First off, it's Arizona, so it's hot as heck. It's about 110, 120 lately. So working out in the backyard just wasn't going to happen. It couldn't work. It wasn't going to make it happen. So what I did was ended up getting this. It is the new Black Label Garage. Small digs, not too bad. I still got a bunch of boxes and crap that I need to fix with, but I've got the truck. The truck fits in here beautifully. And that's going to give me plenty of room to work on some things. So today, as promised, we're going to rip out this engine and get the transmission and everything out, pull it off, get to the side, and then that way the frame is bare. And then the next steps will start to get the body off. So let's go ahead and dig in. Alright YouTube, so we're going to go ahead and get underneath the truck. There is a cross support for the transmission. There's a bolt on each side that we'll remove. There is the main engine or transmission mount that we'll remove. And then usually there's a, I'll have to show you, I don't know exactly the correct term, but there's a clamp that holds on the drive shaft at the end of the transmission. Unfortunately, the bolts for mine are rounded off completely. So I'm going to have to take it out with the short end of the drive shaft, and we'll go from there. So let me get you under here and we'll look at it. Welcome to the underside of the truck. So as I'm talking about for the transmission part, it's right here. This is the transmission mount that we'll be getting rid of. I'm not getting rid of, but we'll be pulling out this bolt right here. And then over on the corners here are the bolts for this cross beam that holds the transmission together. Typically right here is the clamp for the drive shaft to the rear end of the transmission. You would pull these clamps off to pull this transmission out, but mine are completely, if I can get a good view of it here, here's the clamps. Mine are completely rounded off as far as the bolt's concerned, so I'm going to have to take it off as one piece. Luckily, it's a short piece, so it stops here, so I can just take this part out with the transmission, and we'll just go from there. I think that'll probably be the best option. Kind of an awkward filling position from under like this. Sorry. Alright guys, so I got the bolts out. The ones that hold onto the drive shaft are these. So it's just a bolt on the bottom. It clamps onto the U piece that holds the middle of the drive shaft up, and that's it. I mean, that's real straightforward. The bolt to get the transmission mount off is also extremely simple. It's not some big crazy piece or anything. And I guess I can get down there and show you. So as you guys can see, the drive shaft is in parts. There was that center section where the little U piece is, that little U piece clamped on to the underside of the truck, and that just mounted to that. So now that I've got that disconnected, they've separated. This is still connected to the rear drive shaft, but I'm going to let it hang there for now, and then I can pull out this piece with the transmission. So that definitely does solve quite a few little issues, and we'll start going from there. Overall, I think this is going to be pretty straightforward. We only have a couple more bolts left. For the most part, next steps are real easy. There's only 2 more bolts left, which are just literally the engine mounts bolts. I've got to disconnect the exhaust. Let's not forget to get that off. And then I'll be able to pull the sucker right out and put it out of the side. So just to kind of give you an idea, I'll go ahead and turn this around here real quick. This is the exhaust, obviously. I've got to get it off. I can either take the manifold off or I can just cut it. I'm thinking I'm just going to cut it. Right here is the engine mount itself. I'll take off this bolt, this one, and then there's another one of those on the other side. And then literally same thing on this side. Once that's been removed, then I'll be able to go ahead and just start going from there. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. It's a nice and easy pull. I'll get the engine out of the way, and then that'll give me all the room for the front cross member. And then we're just one more step closer to getting that Crown Vic IFS on. So let's go ahead and get those bolts out. I'll go ahead and cut the exhaust and we'll go from there. So this next step is definitely not the quietest way of doing things, but it's real quick. I don't want to remove the header, mostly just because I don't want any holes or gaps to get into where the cylinders are. I plan on either saving this motor and using it for some cool retro rat rod style project, since it is a 4-speed manual, it's a cool inline 6, or selling it. I don't want it to go to just crap just because it's an old engine. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the exhaust piece off, and we'll go from there. We've come unplugged and I've bent it. It's because of the weight of the motor. Well, she's free, as you guys can see. Now the next steps are just that engine mount. That's easy peasy. guys, so we got the body jacked up. As you guys can see, I used an old jack they found in there because I don't have any blocks of wood on top of this, and I removed it about that much. Now, the engine actually slid forward because this part right here, which was catching against the cab, let loose, and now the whole engine's forward. So I'm gonna be able to rip this bad boy out, put it somewhere the heck out of the way, and then the body, taking everything off of the body of this frame is going to be the next step. So that ought to be fun. I'm going to go ahead and make some room for all this garbage that I have.